Anyone can benefit from that.
This is why we don't do like an intro anymore.
Yeah.
I used to play the intro. It's like, here we are, Facebook. How you doing? And welcome back to the concourse at the Progressive Auto Sales Arena. David Burrows, Connor Burke.
Here I am.
And there's just so many directions we could take this conversation here right now as the Knights are in the house at the Hive. And, we're just looking at the stats and like we kind of go over like what are we going to talk about or whatever. There's a really great opportunity here for the Sarnia Sting tonight. And when you read the numbers, and sometimes the numbers on paper only tell a piece of the story, there's so much more. But the Sarnia Sting really have a great opportunity of coming out ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the London Knights have always been a dominant team.
Sure.
And this year they've kind of taken a step back, even showing back to the trade deadline. They've gotten rid of a lot of their good players for draft picks. Kind of happy with where they are on the standings, 4th, 5th, the mushy middle. They're going to make the playoffs, but I don't know if they'll challenge for the championship. And I think that's like I say, you don't want to take advantage of people's downfalls, but you do.
Oh, but you do.
This is a great opportunity for them to get a good win on a depleted London team.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. Like because you know me, I always say, well, don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. However, when you look at the team you're playing against, but you got to be careful how you look at that too, Connor, because you don't want to come out and underestimate. Some teams have done that against the Sting, underestimating them, and then the Sting come out on top.
Oh, definitely. They come in here and they look at the standings. They're like, this team they're nothing. And then they always bring the best out of us. The best teams come here and we play the best against them. It'd be kind of it'd be interesting to see how we do against this team because they're not the best of the best right now. Just kind of middle, a bottom of the team and a middle of the pack. So. And
typically London has dominated the battle of the 402 and even into this season. However, the last time I think it was like 5-1 we were able to come out ahead of London, and that was
in London.
In London,
yeah.
And that was pretty devastating to London, I think.
Oh, I'm sure it kills them every time it happens. No, I don't think anyone in London likes to lose to the Sting, and I don't think anyone in Sarnia likes to lose to London. So, yeah, for sure, it crushes them, and it's nice to take some wind out of their sails sometimes. I'd like to do it again tonight. It's tough to do in a 10,000-seat arena. It's even better to do at home with all your fans. So I'd love to see them play.
And the fans, regardless of what Mother Nature's providing us here tonight, they're still here, And I did see some London fans, and fans are funny. And especially when we got the battle going back and forth here. Even Mayor Bradley made a post about it because he was here for Silver Stick, and he said, "And the evil London Knights are in town." I know he's jesting, but it's a fair rivalry for sure.
Yeah,
and it's. You got to have those fun rivalries, but there's some pretty serious rivalry happening here too. Because I walked by some London fans and I went, "Oh boy, the London fans are in town," and a couple went, "Hey, buddy," and then I did it a couple more, and they just kind of looked at me like, "What you talking about, Willis?"
I forgot his name already.
Right? I was like, "All right." You go sit.
Yeah,
anyway.
That's tough crowd. Hard to sell sometimes. Some people just aren't in the jest mood.
Yeah, well, and I'm not like you. I'm not that fan either.
Right.
I'm a fan, but okay. Anyway.
Yeah, I wonder how much green we'll see in the building tonight. The roads are pretty awful, actually.
Yeah, well, that will definitely have a factor on it. And I don't know if they had a bus that brought them down here either as well. But of course, be remiss if we didn't talk about our friend Ryan Brown, who's I don't know that he's really shined yet for the London Knights compared to, from what I've seen, I haven't been able to see a lot other than the last time he was here, but I liked him better when he was here.
Yeah, he looks way better in yellow, I agree. But he's had 3 points in 6 games for the Knights. Like you said, not shining, not overachieving, but at least they're getting games out of him because the other end of that trade with Logan Howery, and he's still out of our lineup. So they've gotten 6 good games out of Ryan, and we've got
who are we missing?
One out
Howery.
Of him.
Kapechi, Jaworski, and Evan Millett.
And Evan, yeah. That's Evan. Evan's been out for a bit now.
Right. I'm not sure what's happening there. Well, it's an injury of some sort is all I know. But and then starting tonight, you're going to say it better than I can.
Kale Osipenko starting in net from Renfrew, Ontario.
Right. And we don't, I haven't looked too far in on him. Have you on what to expect from him between the pipes?
Yeah, I would. He got drafted, I think, 2 years back now, so I kind of had my eyes on him for a while. It's really hard to keep your eyes on young players because there's no stats and there's really no video to find of them. But I think when he was drafted, he was very undersized. I remember seeing he was 5'7", and I was like, wow, that's pretty surprising to see such an undersized goalie. He's now listed at 6 feet, so he's grown quite a bit since his draft year, which is nice to see coming into his body and filling the crease out more. So I'm pretty excited. He had a great game last Sunday. What a cool debut to win in your debut. So I just love to see him keep that rolling. I'm sure he's ready to do it.
Yeah. Keeping an eye on the new coach here as well. Like, I haven't checked in on a while on your thoughts on. I mean, of course, we're not really talking to him. We've only had him in postgame once so far. But you were talking too about how, and I missed it at the postgame yesterday. But you said they talked about how the board of stats has been removed from the locker room.
Right off the wall, so they don't have to see where they are in the standings. But I thought that was a pretty interesting move. You know, like I said earlier, but they have their phones. They're all looking. I'm sure it's no
psychologically
secret,
though.
Yeah, for the room as an aspect like that, I like it. It's an interesting move, and I'm curious. We haven't heard more from Matthew Turcotte. Actually, I'd like to hear more from him. I know he's not. I'm sure that's not really his style.
Well, I was going to say, from what I'm hearing, they're like it's not his style. He likes to, and he wants to see. And I was just talking to some folks that came up and asked the question. They're like, "Do I pick who the post game is?" I'm like, I have nothing to do with it, but there's a lot of variables that decides that. And I think in this case, I'm hearing that the coaches go, no, you guys need to go do that. You need to go do that. Because that's part of the game is you got to learn to get in front of that microphone. Because if you go up to the next level, that's a part of it.
Yeah, and I think probably in the NHL, player interviews are much more valued than a coach interview.
And intense, quite honestly, sometimes.
For sure. People want to know what's happening on the ice. The coaches can only say so much. In the NHL, they're grown men. You say, I gave them a game plan, and they're following it to their. What can I say, really? But yeah, I think it's different here. I know they're preparing them for sure to get to that next level.
It's a bit of a playground in the sense of,
I get how some people are curious and want to know more. Like, he's a new guy. He came into town from the QMJHL. It wasn't even like he was from another OHL team. You can't, it's hard to get a lot of
everybody was like, who?
Yeah, everyone speaks French, so you can't really ask the Quebec.
Right.
Comment ça va? How was Matthew Turcotte?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's hard to get some answers out of anybody. So, yeah, I've got one good interview out of him, and I think he's had a couple written ones in your sports. And stuff,
and like he'll be on, you'll hear him on the radio, that kind of thing. But, it's going to be. Are we expecting intense? I mean, we always go, well, it's London Sarnia. We have seen some London Sarnia games where it's like, meh. But for the most part, I don't know how aggressive this is going to be because we do know Hunter hockey, but they're typically in a stronger position than they are right now. Can London afford to be as aggressive as they normally are?
You know what? I've seen a lot of fights this season from them. This Sokolovsky, he's about 6'7", and I've seen at least 3 or 4 of his fights, and I know you get suspended after 3, so he obviously kept going. It didn't matter to him, so I could very well see in the fight. But even you look at this Sting roster anymore, there's not too many guys who are wanting to stand up against guys that are 6'7" and 220 pounds. We kind of have a little bit of an undersized roster again. There's not really anybody over 6'2", 6'3", I believe. So it's kind of tough to match up with guys like that. But I think when we played London, actually, Hunter was away at the World Juniors, so he's back now. So maybe we will see a little bit of a spark from them.
It's going to show up at some point in this game. Would be my fair prediction. I'm not a gambling man, but it's not rocket science to figure that one out between these.
Want to bet on it?
Yeah, sure. Jack Van Volsen, somebody we enjoy talking about regularly, and why not? Look what he's done for the Sting. He's definitely standoutish for the Sting. And I was looking at the stats, and I think we saw that he leads the way in game-winning goals.
With 3.
With 3. And there's actually nobody else listed on there more than once other than Jack Van Volsen. This is just another stats number that really tells a big part of the story of Jack Van Volsen. But then beyond the paper, I like to say, he shows up on the ice where it really counts.
Yeah, it's good to get goals at any time of the game, but those are the clutch moments, the ones that you're looking to somebody to say, hey, we need a savior here. And he's done it 3 times. And curiously, he's been demoted to the third line today. So I'm not sure what maybe he had a couple bad plays yesterday and, getting a little bit of a spanking for it. But, he's a great goal scorer, and I think he can do whatever he wants, even on that third line. He could play up and down the lineup with anybody, and he'll find a way to succeed.
You have to wonder, too, when there's that's a pretty drastic change, from one to there. And then sometimes when you're down on that, did you say he's third or fourth?
Third line.
Third line. But when you're down on, third's not too bad, but when you get on fourth line, it's really hard to get back on the first line.
Yeah, you only get so much playing time and so much time to prove yourself. So, it is pretty difficult to move your way back into the lineup. Probably find himself a way to get a couple clutch goals on that line, and, he'll find a way to do it, I think.
And often, too, you'll see, well, let's go down. We've got Sokale starting the pipes, Cameron O'Coin, Jacob Reese, Ben Pickle, Alessandro Diorio, and Tyler Challenger all starting on things tonight. And strong lineup there still for the first line. But you often wonder, this is where you want to try to get in the head of the coach and go, why the change, especially right now against, even though London isn't as strong as they normally are, they're still a tough team to beat.
Yeah, I think I like the lineup with Challenger moving up to the first line. His points don't really show how well or how hard he works on the ice. He scored very late in the game last game. But I think I've noticed since he first showed up here, he's hardworking on every shift. He's always trying to get to the puck, finishes his checks. He always has 1 or 2 checks on every shift. He works hard, and I think he's earned that spot.
He plays past the whistle.
Yeah, so for him to get a little more playing time and play with better line mates, I'm sure it'll only reward him. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, for sure. And then, of course, yesterday the loss to the Sioux, 5-2. Lucas Fisher
scores a goal.
He really wanted a piece of Wallace yesterday, boy, I'll tell you. And, somebody said to me, it was James, he said to me, he says, well, yeah, and we give him a big thank you, and then he still wanted to. I said, well, he's still here to win a game,
yeah,
man.
That's right.
He
no
doesn't
mercy.
care about, there's nothing. Yeah, it's poker. Like, yes, I'm taking all your money, right? But he's still, there's one thing that didn't change with Lucas, and that's his relationship with the penalty box.
Oh, he was there. He found his way into it.
It's just, I would think the penalty box is the thing you want to avoid in a hockey game, period. However, there are those that just like to, I don't know, maybe it's a comfy chair.
Yeah,
or
spend a little alone time. You got to gather your thoughts. 2 minutes just to get back in the game.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's an expert.
For sure.
Good to see him back, though. It was nice.
They're really things are going to have to get really tightened up here. One thing I do think that Sarnia has an advantage over London is Sarnia, even though where they're at right now, I think they're a little more well-disciplined of a team when it comes to playing than London is.
Yeah,
as far as the plays and the strategies.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the penalty minutes again. We still more penalized than London is, and they seem to get in a fight every game. So that's racking up 5.
Right.
And we're not getting into too many fights. So I don't know where all these penalty minutes are coming from, but still,
well, Lucas is gone, so maybe that's not a fair comparison.
Yeah. Well, we still found our way into that box last night, and then even on the power play, actually, we let in a shorthanded goal early in the third period there, so that was pretty deflating. So structure and discipline is pretty important, and I think it's something that we kind of lack a little bit right now. You get to running around in the zone, or you make a lackadaisical pass, and it's not tape to tape, it's not a hard pass, and it gets picked off in the middle, and there goes the other skater. So I think that's something they got to work on, and be nice to stay out of the penalty box. It'd be very nice.
Special teams is definitely something that's important, and again, it's going to really be something that is going to be important if they're going to win against London tonight. You can talk about the 5-1 win all you want, which was a great win, and in London. However, the circumstances were a lot different when that occurred. We're now, several weeks later from that point to now, and I call it crunch time. It really is crunch time, and deciding factors as to where, even if you are already likely to make the playoffs, it's kind of like, where do you land in the playoffs?
Yeah, like I said earlier about London kind of being happy where they are in the standings. They So this is a whole new London team compared to the last one we played. They've gotten rid of, I think, 5 or 6 players. One was a captain and the other was another NHL pick. So don't wish that they were worse. Wish you were better for sure. But I wonder if London is thinking that this is one of the teams that they can afford to lose against because they're not bumping up against them in the standings. So maybe we're hoping they come out a little flat tonight and think, oh, well, it's just Sarnia. They can't catch us in the standings.
Yeah.
So anyway.
But if I'm Sarnia, I'm still going, man.
No, definitely not.
We want another 5-1.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'd like to see another 9-1, actually. Thank you very much.
You're a pretty optimistic guy. I'm more of a realist.
I said want. I didn't say expect.
Yeah, okay, all right. We just want to win by 1.
Yeah,
that's all we really need.
Doesn't matter what the score is.
If you're not first, you're last, Ricky Bobby. So.
Well, that's stupid. You could be second, third.
You never
fourth.
Heard that?
Yeah, but he tells his dad at the end of the movie and says, "Well, that's stupid. You could be second, third, fourth, fifth."
All day long. Yeah. The fans, though, still have the expectation, right? They want to see a winning team. They want to see us in the playoffs. They want to see us all the way. I think stepping in phases, right? Okay, we got to get to here, and then we got to get to, and we talked yesterday about the long game.
Yep.
There's a long game, and I think the Sting tried to play that yesterday against the Sioux. We talked about the long game. Just stay ahead. Just stay ahead by 1, at least work on 2 or 3, but long game, I always think of the Muhammad Ali fight, wear him out, and then take him in the third and just knock him out, right? And I think that's, if you talk about 3 rounds here, we always say full 60 minutes of hockey. I know, I get it. That doesn't always happen. But tonight, that's really significant to say.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, it was tough to see. It was such a close game up until the third period.
And they played really hard, quite honestly.
Right until the end. I think they outshot them. It was just... Yeah. It's just those. I think even Beckham Edwards said in the post game about sluggishness. I think was the word.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
that was the word he used. So you get caught in those certain. It's just those very specific. It's just a moment that all it takes is a turnover and the puck's on the other player's stick and he's down on a breakaway and Quinlan's or Spanko tonight is caught off guard. So it's just those little tweaks that you got to find that you're like I said, we outshot them. We played a really well-rounded game. It's just those little mistakes that end up in the back of the net, and makes you kind of bitter about a whole good game because you're like, well, you look at the score, but if you were watching the game, you understand it. They did very well for them.
Sorry, what TikTok? What's happening here? Did we just have a battle or something?
Huh.
I don't know.
Facebook sounds mint. That's nice.
Oh, okay.
Audio is really rough.
Oh. That's probably better right there. When I have my battery plugged in, it makes a funny noise. I'm sure I guarantee we just improved it.
Should have been reading that.
Oh, well. They're still here. Don't leave us.
We'll be here for 2 more periods.
Yeah. Let's go Sting. All right, sorry about that. And you talk about moments. You can have those moments. Like I always say, everybody says, I'm having a bad day. There's no such thing as bad days. There's bad moments in the day. There's 24 hours in the day, and here a full day is 60 minutes. You can have a moment or 2, and I don't know if you know this, a moment for the purpose of the law actually is 90 seconds.
A minute and a half?
Right.
Okay.
So you can only have so many moments in a period.
Yeah.
Quickly
only get
up,
20 of them.
It quickly adds up to about 15 of those at a minute.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can only have so many moments.
Well, you take a 2-minute penalty. Here.
Right. Well, you kind of read my mind where I was leading.
Yeah.
Take 2 of them, get a 5 in there, right? So those moments could add up quickly. You have to really take a good look and go, okay, what happened in that moment and how do we fix that? And I think that's something we talked about with the new coach. Seems to do, we don't have a bug down there, but seems that's what he does when a player comes off the ice.
Yeah, he's good at teaching and I think good at conversing with the players. I'm sure there's a lot more behind the scenes that we'll never see. If you show up at practice, you might be able to see them. I think they do it midday during the week, so you could probably see a little bit of behind the scenes, but it's a public to the public skate.
Yeah, you can come on in.
But yeah, I think he does that really well. He holds people accountable, and I'm not sure if this is what's happened, but you see how Van Bolsen has moved down the lineup, so I don't know if that was something that happened yesterday where it's you're not being punished, but you're saying you're being you're given a lesser role because of maybe one of those bad moments that you.
Well,
had.
accountability is important because if you just go, they're there, it's okay,
right,
son.
Yeah.
It's not gonna,
someone's gonna do it again.
Later in life, that comes back and bites you from behind, and then you can't go back and blame anybody but yourself. And there's that, the toughest thing is, the coach can hold you accountable, but it's like disciplining your children sometimes. You can only do so much. If they keep doing it over and over and over and over and over and don't care,
no consequences.
that shows up. So when the consequences are on the line, and I think maybe we have seen some of that. I won't say specifically who, but over the past few years, some players are gone, and I think honestly it's because they weren't here. They just weren't here to begin with, and thought maybe they were, sometimes egos get in the way and all that sort of stuff, and that's where a lot of changes come into place.
Yeah, you're trying to build the culture of wanting to be here. You can be anywhere you want. There's a lot of teams in the OHL, but you're longing and you're wanting to be somewhere else, and I don't get along with my teammates very well, or I don't like this coach very much. It's you're on the outside looking in, and it's a tough business. It's hard to say just ship them off, but it's you don't really want the toxicity in your locker room. It spreads. It's very easily spreadable, and one player gets into another player's ear like, oh, yada yada. This practice stinks, or this coach is rough on us. Like it's
I even wondered, and I have no basis for saying this other than just an observation. Oh, and here we go. You read my mind. Thoughts on Fisher trying to fight his old team last night. Well, somebody come up and talked to me, and I said, yeah, but he's on the other team. He still wants to. He's still here to win. But that being said, I kind of felt like the way he was going after Wallows. Was there something there from before that he couldn't, did he want to take him out in the locker? I don't.
You wonder, yeah.
Didn't you feel like that to you?
It did look a little, not premeditated, but it looked passionate, just like an easy hockey play. It was like I want to do this right now.
Yeah, because the gloves were twitching. Yeah, they were.
They never came off though.
No, it was really close though. I could see it from here on the jumbotron and everything else. But yeah, I really felt like there's something else going on there.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just the fan in me making stuff up. I don't know. I have no basis on that for sure. All right. Well, we're going to let Connor take off and get to his seat as we get ready to see the Sarnia Sting host as the mayor would say, the evil London Knights. I agree. I get Mayor Bradley's humor, trust me, and I was like, oh yeah, there you go. But it's definitely the rivalry here tonight. And no scratches from the London Knights. We just saw that. Look at that. Interesting. Evan Billette.
That is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe they must be shorthanded because you usually want at least one scratch.
I would think so. Well, maybe there's another advantage for us. All right, we'll see what happens. Thanks, Joe's Discount Tire, of course. If you haven't done it yet, go see Joe's Discount Tire. Tell them I said hi. And get those snow tires on. All seasons tires do not mean they work in all seasons. You need snow tires. Yeah, it's
unbelievable.
A myth. It's a myth. Go get the snow tires on at Joe's Discount Tire.
Best place in town.
And Hughes Intelligence, of course, been a great supporter for many, many years. We appreciate them as well. And we appreciate all of you. But Facebook, we're going to stay live over here on Tiki Talkie if you want to come and say hello.
Now that we got the mics fixed.
I'll be there. Yeah, now they got the sound fit. 10 more years, I'll have it perfect. Once again, this is Beyond the Boards. I'm David Burrows, and this is Connor Burke. 1, 2, 3.